Goddamn. Alright, hello. This is Thomas Novacell. I do layout for games. I write things sometimes, and I do art. Um, I have a website, www.thomas-novacell.com. Some stuff goes on there sometimes. But that doesn't matter because today I'm going to be, I guess, recording me working a little bit on Runaway Hirelings, specifically. Um, all right, if you're unfamiliar with what this game is about, is essentially actually, let me just read the front text to you. Here you are. Your bosses are dead on the floor, blood pooling under their cloaks and mighty swords. A shattered wand is spread like used toothpicks all around the big bad guy. They led you in. They defeated great monsters and solved complex puzzles to reach this, the treasure room. The rumored fortune! Gold, jewels, and most magnificent fabrics. And also gold. But they could not have been prepared for what would wait here, protecting such delicious riches. They fought valiantly. You cowered behind a rock. They were hit with mighty fists, and you hid behind a rock, and they just had to suffer the blast of explosive magics. I think I read rock too many times. What? And they died as the boss monster. But you survived, hidden behind a rock. So as the boss monster, they died just as the boss monster did. But you survived, hidden behind a rock. But what now? You have gold in your packs and have buried your heroes. Tears have been shed, maybe. And now you must flee back from whence you came. You must run away as fast as you can back to the entrance. Hopefully the path out is easier when you blindly flail your way forward. So in this game, it's very improv-ish. And so everyone has a character, and they are essentially incompetent hirelings. Not necessarily incompetent. They are very, very specialized. If you are a torchbearer, you are very, very good at lighting torches, leading the path kind of thing into the darkness, and starting fires, of course. However, lockpicking is not your forte. So it's very easy for you to do what torchbearers do, because you are the stereotypical torchbearer. But lockpicking, not so much. So, that's what this game's about. And the premise is that you have gone into the dungeon, and your big boss guys, the people that were in charge of you, your adventurers, died at the hands of this monster, and now the monster's dead, they're dead, but there's all this treasure. So you fill up your bag with as much as you can, and you are screaming and running out of the dungeon, heading back to the entrance. There's that. But specifically, we're going to work on. Oh, I have to change the Flail point economy, I guess, because Benjamin Kramer pointed out something pretty important, which was in the rules. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, that's probably because I haven't released anything of it really yet, except the Nano RPG thing I did before. But so there's the dungeon master, or the game master, is called the dungeon architect. It is, and he kind of leads things along. But when you enter a room, after doing everything you need to do in the current room to move ahead, someone should look for a way out. When you find a way out or you enter the next room, that player must choose to name the room or to introduce a problem. Now that these are things that the dungeon architect would then throw back with some superfluous words of danger and stones and cobbled monster wall painting things. But now there's an override kind of thing. So like, okay, you gave them some strings to sew together. Now you can add on a new patchwork afterwards if you want to. When you are in a room, yes, you may be presented the challenges or wild descriptions by the Dunarch or by your fellow hirelings. If you think that what you are hearing doesn't sound just as you remember it, give the Dunarch 3 flail points to be able to expand on what they said. Start with yes, but. You cannot give 3 flail points, obviously, to just yes, but your way directly out of the dungeon. Now, flail points are points that you only get them by opting to fail. Like, you just directly opt to automatically fail at a task. And it has to be a task that is in your specialty, because if it's in your specialty, you essentially automatic succeed. You just have to answer a question, which is doing your thing. So, answering a question. You automatically do it if it's your blatantly related to or under your specialty. So you don't have to roll die or anything. If it's the first time you are doing this specific action, tell everyone around the table why you think it is a good idea. Like, so Jim Bob is lighting a torch, and the torch is a gassy goblin body that is perished but is blown up, and now there's gas coming out of it, and it seems like it's flammable. Now they're going to use this as a bomb to blow open the doorway that was introduced by Mayberry. So Jim Bob is like, well, I'm the torchbearer, so I can light fires. So he puts a torch, or he grabs a piece of rope and lights an end, and then puts it near the goblin body. And he doesn't have to roll anything to succeed at that. He just explains why it is a good idea that he is doing this. Like, well, I am the torchbearer. I should be able to light a substantial enough fire. I can use this as a fuel. It's almost like a bomb, but it'll light the way quite well and open up this path, kind of thing. Lighting something on fire. Got it. You described it. Now, if he did that again, like the exact same, like, I'm lighting a goblin on fire that is gassy, he doesn't have to describe it again because he's already said why it's a cool idea. However, if he wanted to apply it differently, like, I want to create a device so that I don't have to be lighting it really, really close next to it. Okay, so that's a little outside your specialty, but it's related to the fire part. So, the Dunarch, the Dungeon Architect, DM, whatever, will ask you questions such as, tell us all about that one time you did this exact same thing, or describe to everyone the worst case scenario, how you could fail to do that, how you failing to do this could end terribly for everyone around. Now tell us how you pull it off even with all this pressure. And you just answer it, and then that's the success. Like, the answering the question when it's in your specialty is like die rolling, except you can choose it. Now, getting the flail point, so we're moving back, is you can choose to fail at any time with your specialty to get points. So you fail now at something that you are perfect at so that you can get a point. And those points are so that you can either... Alright, you can spend one to do that description change. So where you do the yes but to the description introduced by the Dungeon Architect. Or you can use it to automatically succeed outside your specialty. And then there's another one that is minus X flail points to do a dick move. So the dick move one comes about because when characters die, they go away. They have lost all the gold in their backpack because gold is health in this game. If they die, they can choose to take one of their friends down with them, but obviously it's a dick move, so there has to be a cost in some way. I think the way I was going to do it was, we're gonna do -3. We're gonna do -3 for that, because 3 is enough for that. For the dick move to kill people, essentially, or almost kill them. And then we're going to do -2 for the succession, or to automatically succeed at something outside your specialty, and then -1 to the yes but. So, -2, alright, spend 2 flail points, and then we have, alright, take that away, 2 flail points, and then we have, the minus, where is it? You can give 3 flail points. Nope, we're just gonna go with you can give 1 flail point to yes, but you cannot give 1 flail point, so give the Dunarch 1 flail point. Alright, now, alright, so that was the big flail point part, and I also described bits of it. So, I think essentially up here is good for right now for playtesting. So let's go down to characters, because there are different types of hirelings, and you essentially choose a type. I know in the playtest that I listened to, because someone recorded their playtesting of the original minigame, which, awesome of him. That was Benjamin Kramer. Great playtester, got a great group of friends over there. They had 2 people play as a trap poker, and they became like brothers and stuff. But so let's go over what the different character types are. There's the trap poker, the torch bearer, the peasant, the chronicler, the fool, the itinerant monk, and the slop chef. Now, right now, I'm just going to go over one of them so that I can just introduce the next video. Uh, and essentially, uh, you have your specialty, and then you have equipment. And so the trap poker has a long metal stick, and the player's choice of either a rope or a sprung bear trap, but you cannot have both a rope and a sprung bear trap. So you could be like, oh, I'm a trap poker with a metal stick and a sprung bear trap. Trap pokers just poke traps. They literally just stab at the ground as everyone moves around, making sure no one gets hit by like pitfalls and stuff, or acid pits that are invisible. Now, the specialty is to use the long metal stick or a rope to find, disable, disarm, and set off traps. So they can find traps automatically. You just gotta make sure you say to do that, because if you don't bring it up, you're not looking. Now, your advantage, which essentially helps you with things that are outside your specialty and aren't able to be like jury rigged into it. So like a trap poker who is climbing a cliff face on the sneaky boulder cliff. He needs to be careful not to make too much noise, or the rocks will awaken, become frightened, and then roll down towards him and his friends. So, using other tools to do trap poker stuff that isn't your original long metal stick and rope, as well as using long sticks like objects to get the attention of all creatures. So, his advantage isn't there, so he doesn't get the bonus. But he can. Actually, he's stuck with his disadvantage, which is he runs when running away from a monster or dangerous situation. You have the compulsion to poke the ground, which slows you down to a snail's pace. So he is poking the ground, so he's going to be slower at this, and he could possibly make more noise. So when we go back up to, let's see, you can always try to do something that is within the ability of an ordinary adventure but outside your specialty, which means you roll a 6-sided die. On a 5 or a 6, you do the best a hireling with a very specialized set of skills can do and succeed at the task. The Dunark will tell you what this means. If you roll anything other than that, though, you fail, stumbled, tripped, flubbed, or just plain stunk at what you tried to do. So, where this disadvantage comes in is that when you're rolling as above and you have the disadvantage which applies, if this is a situation where you disadvantage in this situation, you roll twice. So you roll 2d6 and you take the lower roll. So unless you get a 5 or a 6 on both dice, you're gonna lose, kind of thing. And it's essentially like the little crippling spot. So I got the flow point part done, and there's still a lot more to do, but we'll talk about characters later or in the next video. So, thank you for watching me do this so quickly. Yay. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Also, if you want to, you should totally join this Google Plus community that I have, because we are talking about this weekend a guild for creative invention. We got 32 members, but our current discussion for this weekend is a game design prompt under exercising experiments. And it's a game about the people on a fishing boat who miss home. Questions being, what type of game would this be as a role-playing game? What type of story would you want to become apparent after play? Any specific moods or thoughts that you would be good to have that you think would be good to have highlighted by mechanical reinforcement? What is this game about? How can it be all about that? We have some great comments so far too. Like, we have one about a board game with like cartoony stuff. We have Fiasco playset and a bunch of video links. But anyways, that is it for right now, and I will see you guys next time.